Imagine yourself surrounded by people consumed by the hunger for success. Some play by the rules, working with discipline and holding fast to their principles. Others lie, manipulate, and crush anyone in their path. And when you look closely at who stands at the summit, who bends the laws to their will, who claims ownership of the world, it is rarely the noble or the kind. It is the ruthless, the unflinching, the ones who never hesitate. Why does the world appear designed to favor those without conscience? History answers with a thunderous echo. Emperors, conquerors, warlords, magnates. The pattern repeats itself with striking clarity. The most merciless rise. And this is not an accident. It is not a flaw in the system. It is the very blueprint of the system itself. To grasp why, we must enter the mind of Nietzsche and confront one of the most unsettling truths about human nature. Power is not a prize for virtue, but the spoils of those willing to seize it. From childhood, we are fed a comforting illusion that success is the reward for diligence, talent, and moral integrity. Yet the chronicles of history, the machinations of business, and the reality of politics tell us another story. One far darker yet far more honest. Power does not reward the deserving. It rewards the takers. The world was never built to lift up the virtuous. It was constructed to be mastered by those who understand its inner workings and exploit them without hesitation. Success is rarely about fairness. It is about control, strategy, and the willingness to do what others will not. Why do corrupt politicians thrive? Because they understand the rules of the game better than the honest players. Politics is not about justice, it is about influence. A leader who can echo the desires of the people, manipulate the machinery of power, and silence opponents will always climb higher than one who clings to moral purity at the cost of authority. In the pursuit of dominance, morality is a liability. History is unambiguous about this. The most powerful rulers were not the most ethical, but the most strategic. They made promises they never intended to keep, forged alliances only to abandon them when expedient, and understood a fundamental truth. Power is never handed over, it is taken. The companies that endure are not the ones that protect jobs at all costs, but the ones that cut thousands if survival demands it. The leaders who rise are not the peacemakers, but the eliminators of rivals. Industries are built on calculated exploitation of labor, markets, and resources. It is an unsettling reality, but it remains reality nonetheless. The economy does not reward kindness. It rewards domination. Why do the greatest rulers in history so often carry the darkest pasts? Because greatness and ruthlessness walk hand in hand. Alexander the Great did not conquer the world with diplomacy alone. He reduced cities to ashes. Julius Caesar did not ascend through honor. He betrayed the Senate. Napoleon did not build an empire by obeying the law. He rewrote the law to suit himself. Power has never been about virtue. It has always been about control. Those who etched their names into history understood a principle as old as civilization. A leader must be feared before they can ever be loved. Justice, in this context, is little more than an illusion, a tool designed to keep the weak in line. Society teaches us to be fair, to play by the rules, to believe that the good will eventually triumph. But who writes these rules? They are written by those who stand to benefit from them. Workers are told to remain loyal, yet corporations discard them the moment they cease to generate profit. Citizens are taught to obey the law, while the elite bend it to protect their own interests. The masses are urged to trust in justice, while those in power manipulate the legal system to secure their dominance. Fairness is not a universal principle. It is a carefully crafted story, a narrative designed to preserve control. The real world belongs to those who see through the illusion and act accordingly. Power is not about deserving, it is about taking. Friedrich Nietzsche did not merely question morality, He stripped it bare and revealed it as a deception. In his groundbreaking work, Beyond Good and Evil, he argued that morality is not an objective truth but a tool, a deliberate illusion forged by the weak to shame, restrain, and suppress the strong. What we call good and evil are not timeless laws of the universe but social constructs, crafted to serve the interests of competing groups. The powerless, unable to seize authority on their own, created moral systems that condemned strength and ambition while glorifying obedience and weakness. Yet, the powerful, those unafraid to see morality for what it truly is, recognized the cage that these systems represented and refused to be bound by it. At the center of Nietzsche's philosophy lies the will to power, the fundamental drive behind all life. For Nietzsche, human beings are not primarily seeking happiness, peace, or even survival as their highest goals. What they crave is power, the capacity to impose their will on the world and to reshape reality according to their vision. Power is not limited to politics or physical force. It is psychological, intellectual, and creative. The greatest minds of history, the philosophers, the artists, the warriors, the rulers, were never passive seekers of truth or justice. They were conquerors of reality, bending society, culture, and even morality itself to their will. The will to power is not cruelty for its own sake. It is the refusal to remain confined, the determination to transcend limits, to break free from the shackles of weak morality and carve a path of one's own making. Those who embrace it shape history. Those who deny it are reduced to footnotes within it. Nietzsche saw the world divided between two moral codes. The morality of the masters, the morality of the strong, celebrates strength, ambition, and the will to overcome. It is the mindset of leaders, warriors, and creators, those who do not wait for permission or validation, but seize what they desire. The strong define their own ethics through excellence, domination, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. By contrast, the morality of the slaves, the morality of the weak, glorifies submission, obedience, and victimhood. It is the mindset of the ruled, those unable to rise above their condition, who instead invent systems of morality that sanctify suffering, humility, and weakness. Rather than striving for power, they resent those who hold it. Rather than pursuing victory, they condemn those who achieve it. Slave morality preaches virtues such as kindness, patience, and humility, not because they are inherently noble, but because they protect the weak from rebelling against their own lowly position. The masses are conditioned to believe that strength is evil, ambition is selfish, and power is corrupting, ensuring that only a rare few dare to reach for it. The truth is that morality is a choice, not a law. Nietzsche forces us to confront a difficult question. Will you live by the morality imposed upon you? Or will you create a morality of your own? If you cling to traditional values, you remain powerless, trapped within a system designed to keep you weak. If you reject it and carve your own path, you become the architect of your destiny. History does not remember the obedient. It remembers those who rose above the crowd. Success is never random. It does not favor the most moral, the most kind, or even the most deserving. It follows psychological laws, patterns that reward certain mindsets while punishing others. In history, in business, in politics, the individuals who ascend to power do not do so because they are good. They rise because they possess particular psychological traits that set them apart from the crowd. These traits are the true currency of power, and those who master them dominate the world. Ambition is the first and most essential trait of those who rise to power. It is not a passing desire, but a hunger so consuming that nothing satisfies it except victory. Ordinary people accept their circumstances and make peace with mediocrity. The ambitious never do. They treat every obstacle as a challenge, every failure as fuel. Ambition is not daydreaming, it is obsession. It is the unshakable conviction that you were born for more, and the refusal to settle for less. Look at history's great rulers, pioneering leaders, and visionary entrepreneurs. None of them were ever content. They wanted more, and they took it. Decisiveness follows. Hesitation is death in the realm of power. The weak hesitate, overanalyze, and drown in self-doubt. The strong act. Decisive leaders move quickly and with confidence. They do not wait for the perfect moment. They create it. The hesitant watch opportunities slip away, paralyzed by the fear of failure. Those who win are willing to take risks, while others are still debating. Decisiveness does not mean recklessness. It means trusting your instincts, committing to a course, and adapting along the way. Most people avoid risk because they fear loss, rejection, or defeat. The powerful embrace risk because they know it is the price of victory. Fearlessness is the next dividing line. Fear keeps the weak chained to their place. They fear change, they fear standing out, they fear the unknown. The strong treat fear as a compass. If something frightens them, that is precisely why they pursue it. Consider the most successful figures in history. The conquerors, the revolutionaries, the builders of empires and industries. None of them played it safe. They staked everything on their vision because they knew fortune favors those willing to dare. Strategic ruthlessness is the final trait. It is the wisdom to know when to play by the rules and when to break them. The world preaches fairness, but those who rise to power grasp a harsher truth. Rules only exist if you consent to them. The powerful do not obey blindly. They study the rules, follow them when they serve their purpose, and discard them when they do not. They know when kindness is a weakness and when it can be a weapon. Strategic ruthlessness is not cruelty for its own sake. It is efficiency. It is the ability to strip emotion from decisions, to cut away what holds you back, and to do what must be done even when it is uncomfortable. The cold reality is that success favors strength, not virtue. The world does not reward kindness, morality, or fairness. It rewards those who understand and wield the psychology of power. History remembers not the most ethical, but the most ambitious, the most decisive, the most fearless, and the most strategically ruthless. If you want to rise, you must cultivate these traits, for in the end, power belongs only to those who claim it. Power is seductive, but it is also perilous. Those who climb to the summit through ruthlessness, manipulation, and absolute control often convince themselves that they are untouchable. Yet, history tells a different story. The individuals who fail to master power ultimately lose it. Ruthlessness can win power, but it cannot guarantee permanence. The very forces that elevate a ruler, a conqueror, or a business titan often become the seeds of their downfall. Consider Julius Caesar, undone by the weight of his own success. He was one of the most brilliant and ambitious leaders the world has ever seen. Ruthless in battle, cunning in politics, and charismatic enough to bend the Roman Republic to his will. Yet his downfall was inseparable from his rise. His unmatched power made him a threat to the Senate. Allies turned into conspirators, and ambition, once his greatest weapon, transformed him into a target. His fate was not a twist of chance, but the inevitable consequence of his unchecked ascent. Reflect on Napoleon Bonaparte, the conqueror who reached too far. His genius reshaped Europe. His armies forged a French empire that stood above all rivals, and his strategies revolutionized warfare. But power clouded his judgment. Expansion became overreach, and in his hunger for domination, he launched the disastrous invasion of Russia. Confidence hardened into arrogance, and the empire he built collapsed under the weight of his own excess. From emperor to exile, Napoleon's story is a reminder that those who cannot discipline their hunger for power will eventually be devoured by it. The same pattern echoes in the modern world of business. Corporate empires rise and fall under the same law. Blockbuster once dominated video rental, dismissing Netflix as insignificant, only to be swept aside by the very innovation it ignored. Kodak invented the digital camera, yet clung to film in fear of destroying its own profits, and paid the price for its refusal to adapt. Even the giants of technology, seemingly invincible, falter when arrogance blinds them to change. Power is merciless toward stagnation. Those who fail to evolve, who refuse to confront their own hubris, inevitably collapse. The core lesson is clear: master power or be destroyed by it. The final truth of power is balance. Ruthlessness alone is insufficient. It must be tempered by self-awareness. Domination by itself is fragile. It must be guided by wisdom. Success is not enough. It must be sustained. The gravest mistake of the powerful is to believe they are invincible. The moment they cease to master power, power masters them. And so the question remains: if you rise, will you learn from history, or will you fall as countless others have before you? The key to real power is balance. Those who blindly cling to morality remain weak. Those who abandon it completely become reckless. The ones who succeed without destroying themselves are those who learn how to navigate the true laws of power. The first step is to abandon naive morality. Kindness alone will not save you. Many are raised to believe that hard work, virtue, and compassion inevitably lead to success, that the world rewards the good and punishes the corrupt. History and reality show the opposite. The world does not operate on fairness. The powerful do not wait for permission. Those who blindly follow morality often become the victims of those who manipulate it. This does not mean you must embrace evil. It means you must see through the illusion. Play by the rules when they serve you, but recognize when they must be broken if they no longer serve your goals. The second step is to cultivate strength by developing the traits that allow you to command power. True authority does not come from deception alone, but from becoming formidable in your own right. Ambition means setting goals so large they terrify you. Confidence means ceasing to seek approval and owning your path without apology. Decisiveness means acting without hesitation when choices must be made. People are drawn to those who radiate power, not to those who beg for it. The third step is to act with strategy. Power is not only about crushing rivals, but also about knowing when to forge alliances. The most formidable figures in history understood that timing and loyalty could be as important as domination. Julius Caesar secured alliances before seizing Rome. Machiavelli observed that a ruler must know when to appear kind and when to inspire fear. The greatest leaders did not destroy everyone in their path. They cultivated loyal followers who expanded their influence. The rule is simple: never allow emotion to dictate your actions. Use ruthlessness when it serves you. Use kindness when it benefits you. Let morality be a tool, never a cage. The final step is adaptation. Only those who evolve survive. History is filled with empires that collapsed because they failed to adapt to new enemies. Businesses disintegrated because they ignored innovation. Leaders lost everything because they became too comfortable in their power. The true masters of power understand that rigidity is death, while evolution is survival. If you seek lasting success, you must be willing to change, to grow, and to adjust your strategies when the moment demands it. The strongest are not simply the most ruthless. They are the ones who learn, adapt, and endure. The balance between power and morality is where true mastery lies. Power does not have to corrupt. Success does not have to destroy. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and conquerors understood that real strength is not found in blind ruthlessness or blind morality, but in the ability to command both. The question is unavoidable. Will you remain a pawn of the system? Will you rise as a brute only to collapse? Or will you choose a third path, the path of power, uncorrupted? The world does not operate on fairness. It does not reward virtue, and it does not punish evil. It rewards strength. It rewards those who understand how power truly functions, those with the ambition, the strategy, and the fearlessness to take what they want. Most people live inside an illusion, convinced that hard work and virtue alone will carry them to success. Yet, history tells another story. Those who reach the summit are not always the smartest or the kindest. They are the ones who understand the game and play it better than anyone else. Power belongs to those who see reality as it is, not as they wish it to be. Power in itself is neither good nor evil. It is a tool, a natural force, a weapon that can build empires or bring down civilizations. In the hands of a fool, it creates chaos. In the hands of a tyrant, it breeds suffering. In the hands of the wise, it shapes the world. If you seek power, you must accept one truth. Success is never given. It is seized. You must be prepared to make difficult choices, to step outside conventional morality, and to claim your place in the world. But remember this: power without control ends in ruin. Those who rise without understanding its dangers will eventually be destroyed by their own arrogance. And so the real question is this: will you master power, or will you allow it to master you? If this message resonates with you, if you hunger for deeper insights into power, philosophy, and psychology, then subscribe to this channel. Challenge yourself. Rise higher, become greater. Like this video, share it with those who need to hear the truth, and join the conversation in the comments below. Is morality a weakness in today's world, or can power truly exist without ruthlessness? Let's discuss